Warm greetings to the lecturer. Warm greetings to the lecturer, the marker, and the client. I am Fisiwesishi, serial number 184235331. I'll be presenting the TPC local municipality water supply that is intended to be implemented analysis. I have been appointed as an engineering technologist to analyze the water supply project that is intended to be implemented for TPC local municipality. The water supply intends to provide water for the 4 townships of TPC in line with the water services development plan. The system comprises of abstraction works, the water treatment works, thereafter bulk water storage, as well as feeding to demand centers. In literature review, as all we know that water is a basic need for people, and as it is said by NWSA 1997, Section 3 of Act states that everyone has a right of access to basic water supply and sanitation. Therefore, there are several essential factors that takes effect or may be taken into consideration when designing and analyzing the bulk water supplies, such as the infrastructure, making sure that we understand the scope of work and the intended water use for the supply, so that we make enough provision infrastructure, and also the water treatment works has to be part of the infrastructure to meet the water consumption standards, as well as the storage capacity and efficiency. In management, we need to make sure that the water source is reliable, manage all the water losses within our system, monitor the system regularly, as well as water saving technologies. Those needs to be applied to be in place, and also to make sure that we understand the climate change and in the environmental impacts that may happen going forward. And then in economic consideration, infrastructure capacity and its management, and for its durability, we all need to know those things and take them into consideration. And there are regulatory frameworks and policies that are taken into consideration, such as water service development plans, the standards and code of conduct, to make sure that the water is safe for drinking and it is of quality in South Africa. And then in methodology, we had to go through the water design parameters adopted for the hydraulic analysis, as well as taking into consideration some of the standards that are comprehended on the Red Book, and referencing to water service development plan as indicated by the clients on the manual. Therefore, there were assumptions that were made during this design and analysis for the design analysis to make sure that the simulation is running successfully. Therefore, it was assumed that the demands on the demand centers are running constant, and the first estimated part was 300, and then it was assumed that there are no leaks within the system. Then I went on and set up the water supply network on internet by adding all the abstraction work, as it is shown on the next slide. On the first snip, I added the abstraction work, the tank, and the reservoir, and then the demand centers. And then on the next snip, we're showing all the links over here that are connecting from our bulk reservoir to the junctions and the demand centers. And then lastly, it shows all the pump stations, 2 pump stations that were introduced into our system. And then it goes on to show the entire network of our TPC local municipality bulk water supply, where we have our 2 pump stations, the tank, the bulk reservoir, the junctions, as well as the demand centers. And then over here on the snip, we show our pump curve, the info that was keyed in on Ethernet, as well as our demand patterns over here. And then in the snip, it also shows our best demands in liters per second on each junction and demand centers, as well as it shows the elevation on our reservoirs, demand centers as well as junctions. And then in results, we had to keep on increasing the base the basic of our pipe diameter of 300 into 600 in order to meet the positive pressures as well as the base demands in our junctions. We had to make sure that the velocity is less than 1.5. Therefore, we had to keep on increasing the pipe diameters in order to meet to have no negative pressures, and the diameters was 600. In conclusion, it has been carried out, the analysis has been carried out, and we do meet all the required velocity, and the pressures are not negative, as well as the specific demand pressures are met with the new pump station that were introduced into our system. Therefore, our analysis was run successful and the simulation ran successful. Therefore, this bulk system will run efficiently and smoothly. And in reference, I had to use some of the YouTube tutorials that were given on the manual. Also used Redbook as well as the manual in order to complete this analysis. And I thank you. That's all from my